video topic requests, or if you just want to let me know you rock with me, send a donation to the Cash App or one of these other places, you feel me? Much appreciated. And follow me on social media. What's up, y'all? It's Nate Almighty, aka the Global Dark Skinny Ambassador, with another Rikers Island story for that ass. Now, I want to talk about a blood who came from protective custody, right? Came from protective custody, 2-1 lower, and ended up taking over the whole crib. The first and only time I seen that happen, and of course, in order for this to even have a possibility of happening, the guy had to be a gang member. Now, I got plenty stories about my times in one lower. This is a situation where this correlates with around the exact same time where it happened with me and the Patia dudes, because the Patia who was given the house that tried to play me, and I end up starting a fight with all of them in there, at that same point in time, he shared the crib with this blood guy who I'm talking about. And I don't know why it took me so long to speak on this, but I'm going to speak on it now because this is a real, unique situation, you know? And I actually ended up seeing this same guy in the Bronx, in the club, by the name of the Newsroom. If you know, you know, if you're from the Bronx, right? So here's how this story went. I was in one lower before this dude, right? And if my memory serves me correctly, I was in one lower chilling for maybe a month. Yeah, maybe a month, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, a lot of the bullshit in one lower ain't happening until I was like 2-3 months in, you know what I'm saying? I can't say exactly for sure, but in my heart it feels like 2-3 months in. Around that time is when the big fight happened and they smoked my boots and smoked me out of one lower. But I remember coming in to one lower, there was either a Crip from Brooklyn, or he was like ABG or something. ABG, and he had the crib with somebody from Cortland who I didn't know, but he was from Cortland and he was a blood. Yes, they had the crib together, and the Brooklyn dude wanted me to be with it. He wanted to try to make me with it, but automatically the other dude was like, nah, he from the town, he good. So then that dude leaves first, right? And then that's when they try to jump me in the cell in one lower, and the CO ends up breaking that up, right? So after that, the main Brooklyn dude didn't like me. He leaves, goes upstate. So now there's another dude who worked his way all the way up. He was in one lower for like 12 months. He first got there, he was kind of a day room nigga. He got his weight up, you know what I'm saying, fighting and fighting over chairs and stuff like that. And he was locked up for a murder too. So he was the only friend of the Brooklyn dude that ended up leaving, right? So by default, the Brooklyn dude left the crib to him. So now it was him and the Monopoly dude, right? So somebody who, I remember this name because he said his name a lot. There was another dude, blood dude, named Rob Lowe. Now, Rob Lowe comes, he beats up the dude that was given the crib by the Brooklyn dude, right? Beat him up the first day. That's a whole nother story in his own. He came from like 3 Main. He seen who had the crib. He was like, I don't want it with the Patia dude, I want it with you. And then he beat up that dude the same day, took the crib, you know what I'm saying? The dude he took the crib from, who was given the crib by the Brooklyn dude, he only had the crib for like a week, right? And I ain't have a problem with neither of these dudes, by the way, you know what I'm saying? It was basically a real recognized, real situation. Now, something happens in one lower. I think Rob Lowe and the other dudes jumped somebody. So they end up getting packed up. But right before that happens, another blood from Brooklyn comes from PC. And for whatever reason, I believe he knew Rob Lowe, or they hit it off. So while Rob Lowe is leaving, he gives the blood dude who came from PC the crib. Now, it's just the blood dude from PC and this Monopoly now. Now, in a matter of days now, Monopoly ends up giving the crib to the other Patria dude who comes from somewhere else, but he had the building for Patria, I believe, right? So now it's the blood dude from Brooklyn who came from PC, and then it's the other Patria dude, right? Now, how this guy ended up with the crib is, of course, blood politics. But now I want to get into a thing that happens not with most dudes in PC, but certain dudes in PC, which is some guys come into Rikers Island and they got so much smoke that PC is really your only option. And it's like, you don't always gotta be soft and sign into PC because you scared and you can't live. From what I heard, you can be put into PC for the simple fact of everywhere you go, you get jumped out of there. So either you got jumped out of there because it's gang beef, or you got jumped out of there because, for instance, maybe you try to pull a chair in every crib you go to, which is some gangster shit. And mostly gang members do that because they have to show that they're vowing to be at the top of the food chain because they are in these gangs, you know what I'm saying? So you pull a chair instead of asking to fight, so then almost always you get smoked out of the crib. You don't get a chance to fight because the people who run the crib, they consider that as being disrespectful and you too much a threat. Now, this guy, I remember this guy, while he had the crib, he got challenged by like two other dudes because they felt the way. It's like, yo, bro, like, I don't care what gang you in, what section you in, you came from PC, like, you're pussy. And in all due reality, bro was tough. Bro fought them two dudes, he won, so now he solidified his position in the crib. Me and that dude never had no issues. The only thing was with this guy was that when I was getting into it with the Patias and they started to act racist, he could have been somebody who said, yo, listen, y'all niggas is acting racist. We not gonna do this. He was here before both of us. He been doing this thing. He been doing whatever he wanted. He not a gang threat. It's like, we not about to act that way with him. He could have did something, try to say something, but then when you think about it, he from Brooklyn. He didn't really owe me nothing, you know what I mean? He didn't have to be that diplomatic, you know what I'm saying? So when all of this stuff was going down and I got into it with the Patias and they smoked me, he was there watching me get smoked. He didn't try to pull nobody off, putting their foot in my ass, you know what I'm saying? He didn't try to stop nobody from busting my nose, attempting to break my jaw, you know what I'm saying? And that's just another one of those lessons you gotta learn in jail / Rikers Island, which is that you met these dudes in jail. They gonna pick themselves over you, you know what I'm saying? I can understand why, him being a blood and me not being blood and him getting into it with somebody from a whole nother gang over somebody he only knew for a couple weeks. I could see why, you know what I'm saying, that could be detrimental to what he got going on. I could see that, I could see that. You know what I mean? My opinion on him coming from PC and ending up with the crib is like, somebody gave it to him and then he defended his right to have it. Nigga won. What are you gonna say? What are you really gonna say? You know what I'm saying? That's that story. Then I remember my first year or my second year being home, I ended up seeing this dude in the club. Now, I could have held resentment. I was in the club with a bunch of my niggas, you know what I'm saying? I could have said, yo, dude was the reason why I got smoked in Rikers Island, even though he wasn't. I could have acted like it's his fault I got smoked, and we could have smoked his boots that day, but I was just happy to be home. Yeah. But, I was just happy to be home, so I saluted that brother. I'm like, yo, welcome home, my brother. What the hell you doing all the way in the Bronx? He like, yo, I got a little chick up here and all that. We on a little date and shit. Like, I saluted that man. I said, yo, glad to see you home, my brother. Niggas came a long way. And then I went about my business. He went about his, It's as simple as that. You always gotta salute somebody who you seen in jail and you see him home. You always gotta salute them. You always gotta congratulate them for making it home. And that's what I did. And that's the story about the blood who came from protective custody and still took over the house and fought to keep the house, man. Like, shit, comment, subscribe.